Hello Internet, my name is JC Barba and here I am at the scene of the mass GMO slave factory that we know as Walmart. As you can see, here I am walking down the food aisle, and it's important to take note that most of these food items primarily contain sugar at their core, either that or some artificial sweetener. What's even scarier is that there is a new artificial sweetener in town called Neotame. You can read the full report at Infowars.com, but Neotame is like aspartame's big daddy, which is 13,000 times sweeter than sugar and even more toxic. But the punchline here is that there is no labeling requirements for this sweetener, which means it could be in any one of these products without us knowing. So the question you're probably asking is, why does this even matter? Or why does it matter if there's sugar in all these products? Could sugar be a mass-controlling tool of the elite? Well, first we must understand what sugar does to the body. Look, let's start with a single tablespoon of sugar. It only takes a tablespoon or two to create a sugar spike in your body. Researchers from the University of California, San Francisco have found that adults consume about 8 tablespoons per day and teens 12. So what happens when blood sugar spikes? This here is the key. When sugar spikes in the body, the high blood sugar surges can cause huge free radical damage and accelerate the aging process, which can cause diabetes in people, resulting in heart disease, blindness, nerve damage, and brain cell death. No wonder why we're so droned out and sick. Because the body knows these dangers, it has a defense mechanism made for this. When blood sugar is too high, your body uses the hormone insulin to store excess sugar in the muscles, liver, and fat cells. This causes sugar to then decrease a little too much. Therefore, our body then has to release cortisol, the stress hormone, to keep the blood sugar levels from getting too low, making the adrenal gland in the body tired. This is exactly what you don't want to happen, because the adrenal gland is responsible for making other important hormones like testosterone for men and oxytocin for women. Oxytocin helps calm a woman's mind and helps rejuvenate her entire body. Testosterone helps men be more energized, have greater strength, and quicker reaction time. But when your adrenal gland is tired and burned out because of the endless seesaw effect of sugar spikes and drops, guess what? The adrenal gland will not produce as much testosterone or oxytocin, which today has contributed to stress levels being as high as they are, as well as energy levels dropping. Let's use an example to further illustrate this process. Say you eat a few cookies or candy made with white flour or corn syrup. Your blood sugar rises, insulin is then released to store excess sugar, blood sugar levels begin to drop, cortisol is then released to stabilize blood sugar, too much sugar is released into the bloodstream, you feel relaxed, you get a little fatter, and then you crave another cookie, while your adrenal gland becomes a little more exhausted. This cycle can also be triggered by stress. For example, you come home from a long day of work or school. As your stress levels go up, the body releases cortisol. Elevated cortisol suppresses fat burning and stimulates sugar burning. As muscles begin to use up sugar, blood sugar levels then begin to drop. Then the brain orders you to eat more sugar, therefore you crave another cookie. Meanwhile, more cortisol is released to stabilize fluctuating blood sugar levels, and your adrenal gland becomes more exhausted, and so do you. The corporate heads understand this. They know that they can control us by understanding our biochemical makeup. You've heard Henry Kissinger say, if you control the food, you control the people. This is why they put sugar in everything. It's in canned meats, bread, ice cream, candy, breakfast bars, mustard, ketchup, gum, tomato sauce, cough drops, lip gloss, peanut butter, french fries, fast food, sodas, Gatorade, fruit juices, etc. And there are so many types of ingredient labeling that the forms of sugar or offshoots of sugar are endless. There's sugar, dextrose, maltodextrin, corn syrup, corn sugar, high fructose corn syrup. And let's not forget our bioengineered E. coli bacteria feces, known to us as aspartame. And now we have Neotame. Some characteristics of Neotame include its extreme potency. It's a neurotoxin, it's an excitotoxin, and immunotoxin. Neotame, along with aspartame and other sugars, highly promote cancer in the body. It's no secret that cancer rates have dramatically increased in the last 50 years. We went from adults rarely experiencing cancer to the social norm of young kids, teenagers, and young adults getting cancer. Why do you think that is? Did you know that cancer loves sugar? It actually feeds on sugar in order to multiply and spread. Sugar creates the perfect environment for cancer. So we routinely feed cancer the food it needs to grow. We have become a country where the average person consumes 100 times more sugar than the average person did 100 years ago. No wonder our cancer rates are at an all-time high. This means that we are giving in to the system of the sugar industry, and we're putting money in the pockets of the drug companies who give us the drugs to the problems they know will arise from the negative effects of excess sugar in the body. It's no surprise that directors on the boards of these major sugar companies are also directors or buddies with the boards of the major drug manufacturers. It's all a system designed to make us buy sugar products, which create a cycle of addiction and cravings, which eventually make us sick and stressed, so then we have to go to the doctor and get some drugs. It's called problem, reaction, solution. Ladies and gentlemen, my point is that these corporate heads are doing this by design. They want to profit out of your eventual sickness, and it is for this reason they specifically target children from the time of birth. Don't believe me? Watch this video.
I can't see anyone but you.
Norman Feeney, Pepsi drinker for life.
Yeah, addicted and sick slave for life. Wake up, America. This is an attack on our bodies. Did you know that a small 8-ounce drink of orange juice contains 26 grams of sugar? That's equal to 7 teaspoons of sugar in one sitting. And that's what our kids eat at a school lunch, not including the chips or the pizza. And we wonder why our kids are all hyped up and being diagnosed pre-diabetic or diabetic at such an early age. Their minds and bodies are not fully developed to handle such huge amounts of sugar. This is what causes mental and hormonal imbalances at such an early age. This explains why our kids don't want to eat the good, healthy, organic fruits and vegetables. They have been indoctrinated by the sugar industry. You're free to make any decision you want, but our kids don't know any better. Let's not subject them to this mass control grid. Let's do it for our kids. If you ask me where the weapons of mass destruction were, well, they certainly weren't in Iraq. No! They are in our Coke bottles, pantries, kitchen cabinets. Let's take a stand against this food tyranny and end the sugar-coated control in America. Let's from an early age create healthy eating habits for our children and opt out from the sugar industry. Simply by eating a good source of organic protein, sugar cravings are greatly reduced if not ceased. That's right, people. Protein is a sugar craving killer. And we can also use natural substitutes like molasses or stevia or organic honey. Where there's a problem, there's a solution. Let's choose to be that solution. Now, before we wrap this up, I wanted to hit the streets to see what you had to say. What's your opinion on sugar consumption in America?
Well, I think people eat a lot of sugar in America, generally, and I think that's bad. Because that's why we have a rise in diabetes.
Do you like sugar? You love sugar?
Oh yeah.
You love that?
Oh yeah.
Sugar good tasting? Is it good sugar?
Oh yeah. Yeah, sugar's good.
Do you think that sugar consumption is a good thing or a bad thing if it's processed?
If it's processed? Nah, I don't think it's a bad thing.
What's your opinion on sugar consumption in America?
I think we, as Americans, consume way too much sugar. And I think it's not a good thing for the average American body.
After these interviews, we decided to get a professional's opinion. We're here with Dr. Hansen. Doctor, what do you think about sugar consumption in America?
Well, it's really out of control, and it absolutely will destroy your body. It increases the risk of all different litany of diseases, not just diabetes. And I want to say this to all parents, because I'm a parent of 3 children. Absolutely do not feed your kids processed sugar. It will absolutely drive up diseases and healthcare costs and shorten their lifespan.
Links to the reports are found below the video description box. I'll leave you with a Thomas Jefferson quote: "Enlighten the people generally, and tyranny and oppressions of the body and mind will vanish like evil spirits at the dawn of day." My name is JC Barba, reporting from Infowars. Remain vigilant, people.